things. Because it's, you know, I posted on Facebook during that time of season of me going through it. Because I said, God is orchestrating things. But I didn't realize that, because Dr. Afari, he came in and he talked to us about the cancer treatments. But my husband was the main. He said he wanted to do it. Because either A, the treatments was going to help. B, the treatment was going to rapidly not help, basically. So my thing is that. So I'm sitting here, I'm praying and I'm trusting God. And I said, God, I know, have the faith. And I know I trust you with my husband's life. See, that's the thing. You gotta come to the point where you trust God with your loved one's life. Because after all, he's the one that created them. You didn't create them. God did. And you don't own ownership. Even though you may be married, you may have children, but you're not the ownership of them. God is the ownership of us. So you can't go around. Even, I'm going to say this, but even if you had slaves, you don't have ownership of them. You don't, because God has the last and final say. Because after all, He the one created us. And so when it comes to our spouses and our children and even these precious grandbabies, God has the ownership. He's just allowing you to be able to raise somebody. He's allowing you to be able to cultivate, your spouse, to help them, to motivate, to minister, to love on them, to encourage them, to do whatever God has called them to do. He's allowing you to cultivate. So my thing is that I'm sitting up here and I'm saying to myself, God, I know you orchestrating things. I can't see it. But see, me, the faith that it wasn't that I didn't have faith. It wasn't that I didn't trust God. It was the fact that there were people standing around me and they knew the situation at hand. And they saw the faith that I had. They saw the prayer warrior I was. They saw me trusting God in spite of difficult situations. They saw me, yes, relying on God, even though God knew the outcome of it. I didn't. But I stood there. I trusted God until the end, until He said, Retta, it's time. It's time for me to take her. And so when He finally did that, see, even in the midst of my waiting and trying to figure out why God was orchestrating things, because see, He not only was orchestrating behind the scenes, but even in the midst of it all, He was sitting there preparing me, because He knew that if He would have took him suddenly, I've already wouldn't be able to handle it the way I'm handling it now. That's why some people, when their loved ones die suddenly and there was nothing, and all of a sudden they just whatever, have grace and mercy, have patience, because it's nothing like losing somebody suddenly. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have the time to prepare. I really didn't have the time to prepare, but what I did have the time to do was prepare myself spiritually. That's what I did. That was more important to me and to God, that I prepare myself spiritually. He said, okay, it's now time for you to grow your faith even more. I know that you have faith in me, and I know that you are standing on my word, and I know that you believe me, and I know you have seen me work things out, and I have done this time and time again. But let me take it up a notch, because you know why? Because I got people that are around you that they faith need to be built. That's why I say, when you go through things, it has nothing to do with you. It has not not just you only. It has to do with the people that are around you. God, what is it that you want me to display, that the people are around me so that you can be glorified? Huh? You want to use me, God? See, we ask God to use us, but you only want to be used in the way you want to be used. And God said, no, I got a better way to use you. I got a better way to use you. That when your spouse is, not doing so great and not treating you so lovely, I'm gonna use that. I know you don't like it, and I know you have, some people standing around looking at you talking about, if I was you, man, I wouldn't take that. If I was you, I wouldn't take it. Ma'am, don't take that. No. I wouldn't take that. That's what people say. People know the children is not making the good choices, and people sitting around, yeah, if that was my child, I'd be, and maybe, he's not parenting right, maybe she's not parenting right, maybe they just do whatever, instead of just saying, God, I don't know what's going on in that situation, but I know you're going to use it for your glory. Hey. That's what you got to do. So the next time you see a situation, you see somebody and somebody's going through something, you say, God, I know you're going to use that for your glory. I know you're going to use it for your glory. And God, I'm going to stand and I'm going to pray until you bring restoration in that marriage. I'm going to pray until you mend those relationships with their children. I'm going to pray until you bring completion, because see, I know that these situations, these circumstances, God, you're going to use it for your glory. So God, that's what I'm going to tell you. Use it for your glory, oh God. Don't let them go through it just to go through it, oh God. Don't let them feel like this is just for themselves. Let them realize and understand that they got to give up their testimony. They got to speak of their experiences. Because you know why? Because it's not just about us. It's about the people that surround us.